Hello and welcome to TaxPundit. The case under discussion is Nitiben Nayaneshku Trivedi versus Income Tax Officer, Ahmedabad Tribunal, pronounced on 9th July 2026. The case involves an individual assessee who had significant financial transactions during financial year 2017 to 18. The details included time deposits totaling 14 lakh rupees with HDFC Bank and interest income of over 2.65 lakh rupees from the same bank. Crucially, the assessee did not file a return of income for that assessment year. Based on this information, the assessing officer reopened the case under Section 147 of the Income Tax Act. The assessing officer followed due procedure by issuing a notice under Section 148 after recording reasons and obtaining necessary approval. Despite this, the assessee did not file a valid return or respond to any statutory notices. Consequently, the AO completed the assessment ex parte under Section 144 read with Section 147. The entire amount of 16,65,812 rupees was added as unexplained money under Section 69 a read with Section 115 BBE. Section 69A of the Income Tax Act empowers the tax department to treat any unexplained money as income if the assessee fails to provide a satisfactory explanation about its source. Here, the AO verified bank statements that clearly showed the deposits and interest. Since the assessee offered no explanation, the addition was made. On appeal, the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals upheld the addition, noting the assessee's consistent failure to respond. Before the CITA, the assessee was given multiple opportunities. Specifically, hearings were scheduled on 1st April 2023, 13th January 2025, 14th February 2025, and 6th March 2025. Yet, the assessee did not comply, only seeking adjournments without furnishing any supporting evidence. The CITA, therefore, upheld the assessing officer's action and dismissed the appeal. Aggrieved, the assessee then moved to the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. The ITAT began its reasoning by acknowledging the assessee's failure to respond at both the assessment and appellate stages. However, during the hearing before the tribunal, the assessee's counsel requested a final opportunity to produce all necessary details, bank statements, and explanations. The tribunal weighed the competing principles of procedural compliance and substantive justice. It concluded that, in the interest of justice, one more chance should be granted. The ITAT decided to remand the matter back to the assessing officer for a fresh assessment from scratch. The tribunal directed the assessee to submit all relevant bank statements, documents, and explanations, and to strictly comply with all notices without seeking any unnecessary adjournments. The appeal was allowed for statistical purposes, meaning the CIT appeals order was set aside and the case is restored to the AO for fresh adjudication. The ITAT did not decide on the merits of the addition. This case serves as a stern caution to taxpayers. Failure to respond at the initial assessment and first appeal stages will almost certainly result in an adverse order. Only under exceptional circumstances, and with a persuasive request, may a remand be granted. The ITAT has clearly warned that it will not tolerate further delays, and any fresh non-compliance could lead to a new adverse order. The merits of the addition are still open and will be decided based on evidence the assessee produces before the AO. De novo assessment means that the assessment officer will start the entire assessment process from scratch. The earlier ex parte order is set aside, and the AO is not bound by that determination. This gives the assessee a golden opportunity to present evidence, bank statements, and explanations for the source of the funds. Both parties start fresh, and the assessee's prior procedural lapses are not held against them, provided they now comply fully. The phrase appeal allowed for statistical purposes is a procedural outcome. It means the appeal is allowed in form, not on the merits of the case. The earlier order of the CITA is set aside, and the case is restored to the assessing officer for fresh adjudication. This outcome is recorded for statistical tracking of the tribunal's case load. It does not mean the assessee has won, it merely provides a second chance to present their case. A common question is about the exact amount added. In this case, the total addition was 16,65,812 rupees. This included time deposits of 14 lakh rupees and interest income of 2,65,812 rupees, all from HDFC Bank. Another frequently asked question is the legal basis for the addition. The addition was made under Section 69A, which deals with unexplained money, read with Section 115 BBE, which provides for a special tax rate on such income. Many wonder why the ITAT remanded the case despite the assessee's repeated non-compliance. The tribunal looked at the overall circumstances and applied the principle of natural justice. Since the assessee's counsel requested a final opportunity during the hearing, the ITAT decided to grant one last chance in the interest of justice, but with a strict warning. The phrase appeal allowed for statistical purposes can be confusing. It simply means the appeal succeeded on a technical level, not on the substance. The CIT appeals order is cancelled, and the case goes back to the assessing officer for a fresh hearing. This helps the tribunal track how many cases are remanded versus decided on merits. A crucial point is that the ITAT did not rule on whether the deposits were actually unexplained. The tribunal only gave the assessee another chance to prove the source. The final decision on the merits will be made by the assessing officer after the fresh assessment based on the evidence the assessee submits. In conclusion, the ITAT's decision in this case is a pragmatic example of balancing procedural strictness with the need to avoid irreparable injustice. The de novo assessment acts as a safety valve for taxpayers who may have legitimate explanations but missed earlier opportunities. However, the assessee must now cooperate fully and submit all evidence without delay. This case underscores the critical importance of responding to tax notices promptly and engaging with the authorities at every stage. Thanks for watching this video. You can download the full analysis, case law, and case digest PDF from our website, taxpundit.org. Feel free to write to us or message us on WhatsApp at 932-630-6668 for any assistance. Don't forget to subscribe for more landmark updates.